I'll be showing you how to automate the faders in DMXs with MIDI automation lanes in your DAW. Now's the fun part you've probably been waiting for, where we can actually start automating and making these things light up to the beat. I'm stoked. All right, I got the lights off now. So anytime these lights go back on, it's going to be because I am automating it via DMXs on my computer. So that being said, now would be a good time to get this box and to get the software downloaded. So I'll have a link to the most recent software, and with this box you should get, or if you order it online, you should get an email with an authorization code to license the software. The software is a free download, but you need to license it to really use it. So download that the most updated software for Windows or Mac. From NTech's site, there'll be the link below. It'll be a standalone software and also in your plugins folder on your computer by default when you download it, so that you can drag it into your DAW very easily. So at this point, let's go through exactly what it'll look like. So you'll open DMXs. Here's where it will probably say for you, unauthorized, like authorize now. And if you've already authorized it, then it'll say connected. As you saw, mine just said connected. So once it's connected, here's where, if I turn up panel 3, hey, panel 3 is red. Panel 2, green, should be the middle one green, and so on. So I wanna show you a few tricks just on DMXs on clicking and what this looks like. And by the way, this was my applications folder. So if I make kick red, there we go. I'll show you quick how to label these and get DMXs looking like what will fit for your fixture situation. So a few tricks first though. If you double click, look at that. All of it can be red now. This only works if for all fixtures that are the same and right next to each other. So I can double click all the green and it'll bring all that. Since I'm only using LED fixtures that are all 3 channels, so I can do this. Another way to select a bunch of channels at the same time, you can select all of them and just slide it up like that. So that's exactly what I did for like a lot of the previous videos of this course. I just selected all these, dragged it up so it's all on and looks better. But for now, let's keep it off. So let's go to the other page. I'm gonna go to a new page. You just click here, and here's where you can right click on a fader to set your fixtures. So if you're using like what I'm using, you can just go in here. Chauvet has some 3-channel, you can find any 3-channel thing. Color dash, look at that, red, green, blue. That's all we need. Or if they have the exact LED strip you have, that's ideal too. If this doesn't have your fixture, which this most likely does, honestly, they have like almost everything, then you can download your fixtures in here. Or honestly, it's not essential to put these in here and label it. I just think it makes it easier. So from here, you could rename fixture. I'm just gonna call this test. Boom, so we got our red, green, blue, which would be 35, 34, and channels 33. So if this was a light, let's actually use a different example, like some kind of light. Here we go, let's do an 8-channel. Here's like what some intelligent lights may be. It has pan, tilt, color white, gobo spot. This node down here, I believe it's if you have pan and tilt select, yeah, there we go. If you have pan and tilt selected, that's what this is for. It's just so much easier for programming that, but we're not gonna be using any of that because we'll be using this within our DAW. So as you see, here's the different types of automations we can have. This one's mainly just functions. You could rename it, whatever you wanna call it. I don't know, test 8-channel. And we would need to make sure, so this one starts at, the last channel on the previous page is 33, so this would be channel, or 32, I mean, right here. So the next channel would be 33. So the DMX channel of this fixture would need to be set to 33 for this to function from what we're seeing here. And then here's channel 41. You could have your next fixture be here. So let's say we have a 2-channel sunstrip at channel, we would put the dip switch or the DMX channel for this fixture at channel 41, and they would work like that. Make sense? Cool. I'm gonna clear these out by hitting no fixture and then go back to this page. So let's get this running in our DAW. At this point, you can open your favorite DAW of choice. For me, it's Ableton. I'm going to open a little demo session I made that should speed things up. Okay, so it's just a track. I lined it up with the click and tempo here just to save some time. It's a song I made a while ago and produced and mixed and all this stuff to avoid that copyright, you know. Here's what the chorus sounds like. Cool, so yay, catchy. At this point, we can insert a MIDI track. I'm going to rename it DMX. Oh gosh, DMX, and make it purple because purple makes sense for DMX to me. From this point, on Ableton, the library's on the side here, and if you go to your plugins folder and then VST, then NTech, use the DMX's instrument. And from there, we'll just wait for it to connect. There we go. And now, let's test it. It is working. So, here's the true moment of how to integrate and automate this light board from your DAW. This is epic. You hit this little side button right here, and then hit configure, and now you click any channel that you want to automate. So see them popping up in green on the bottom left of my screen? So there's a few things that are kind of a pain, but what I recommend doing is just doing this once, saving the session as a template, and then open that template whenever you're programming lights. Easy. So now we can actually close the lighting board. I'm going to open it up later and you'll see what's actually happening. But from here, right click, show automation in new lane. And this takes forever. There's not a bulk way to do this either, which once again, you do it once and save it as a template. Okay, so now you got these really spaced out lanes. Kind of sucks, and there's not a way, like, you have to scroll one by one, which sucks, but I did figure out a way. If you hold Option and scroll down, it will minimize a lot of those down. And here's what I like to see when I'm programming. And my rig is just 24 channels, so I like to see it all on the screen at the same time. So at this point, I'm gonna get rid of these side things, which is the same thing as hitting these, but I like shortcuts. And now we can program something. I figured maybe we just program some to the chorus here, just something basic to show the example. So at this point, you can keep looking back on the DMX's like light board here. But what I found to be easier is I just made this little chart, and I have some printouts of it that I'll use sometimes. But now I'm just kind of like have it memorized because I program so much. But I'll put this on the screen. Here's a chart that I made just to help me figure out like what colors are for what. If I want to make it purple, I need to send a red and blue. If I need to orange, like just what combinations equal what. And then I put what channels are for mine as well. So that could be something that can help save you a bunch of time. So let's get programming here. We got the chorus. Okay. Oh, and actually, this isn't even a lane. Here we go. And if you're in Ableton, you can just hit A for automation to show up, or it's this button right here. And then we have, I'm using my brain a lot right now. Boom. And this is also nice because I'm looking at the waveforms here to see where the kick is. And I'm just gonna like line this up. Dragging the nodes one by one. There's all sorts of tricks to do this, but check that out. Just got the kick done, and now I can just select this, Command D, duplicate for the chorus. Boom, done with kick. And that's kind of a lazy way to do it, but it works. Now to snare, I know if I send to red, green, and blue at the same time, it's gonna make it white. I kind of like that. So now I'm gonna take that, keep snare going on 2 and 4 for the chorus. Boom, done. See how fast this could be? It's so sick that it syncs to the grid. Now let's get some fancy schmancy for the panels. I kind of like the idea of the middle panel. Wrong ones. There we go. And maybe we keep the red theme. I'm gonna drag this up. There's some different tricks, like you can hit B. Oh, I have that mapped to something else in this session, never mind. But if you hit B, it makes brings up this pencil tool. You can use that to draw like that. If you wanted to strobe, you could just draw up a bunch of little guys like this. All sorts of different techniques and stuff you can do. So delete that. I'm gonna try something different here. Do something like that. Duplicado. I'm gonna paste this to the other panel. So, I just programmed a chorus in like 30 seconds or a minute, whatever. Super awesome, and I'm gonna show you, watch these automation lanes as this is playing. Here's it's automating, and here's actually what's happening in the plugin. I just think that's like incredible that it can actually like process that and everything. So if your computer is a little bit latent or having latency issues where it's like a little bit late, it's not quite like locked in with the music, here's something you can do. You can select up here, right click, insert MIDI clip, and then drag that. I'm holding Command in Ableton, otherwise it'll lock to the grid, but so if you hold Command, boom, and you can drag it just slightly before to help get rid of some of that latency. So that's a trick for that. One other thing that can be really cool, especially for live performances, is if you want the lights to react to what you're playing. So if you are using any like USB instrument that sends MIDI to your computer, you can map this MIDI clip over here. So I'm gonna paste this here and just label it chorus. So if I hit play here, now that MIDI clip is, like these automations are attached to that MIDI clip. So that means, I love doing this. Let's say this cube here, I want to be like a green fade when I hit it. I can make a green fade, which I think I'm on the right one, yep. Insert MIDI clip. I'm gonna copy that. Now I'm gonna delete it from this view, paste it into the other view. I'm gonna call this green fade, make it green for kicks. I'm gonna turn loop off because I don't want that looping, and then boom. Now every time I click it, it's gonna fade. That is so sick. So from here, you could MIDI map it to whatever your MIDI controller is. So right now I would hit whatever key I want to use to do that. I'm going to key map it. I'm using Command K and Command M to do this in Ableton. This is like Ableton's freaking niche. It's awesome. So key, I'm going to hit the letter F, get out of this mode. Now every time I hit the letter F, it lights up. It's awesome. So I could totally play this live on my keyboard right now. But yeah, that's how you can get rid of latency, how you can trigger lights live. Remember, I could do that same thing, but I could have like the letter F trigger like all the panels to light up and go do some fade or something. And then how to trigger this with tracks, here's how I'll do it. I'll make the MIDI clip the same length as my audio tracks. So I'm actually going to just expand this. And it looks like it's like looping right here. So I'm gonna right click, consolidate. There we go. So I'll make these the same length. And then all I have to do when I'm triggering or playing tracks is play that MIDI clip at the same time and it will launch everything with it. It's awesome. And then once again, if I need to fix latency, you can just take that automation and drag it a little bit over to compensate. It's gonna be different for everyone's computer, so sweet. So hopefully this has been super helpful for you. I hope this equips you to build your dream rig, make a sick musical experience, build a sick light show, and just make an awesome experience. I think it's just, I love what excellence can bring, not only in skills and performances, but also in production and preparation, I think is another place where excellence belongs. So yeah, stoked to see what you come up with, and I will see you